All right, let's talk about how I started this solo off. So automatically, a theme started to develop to this tune. I decided I was going to focus on kind of some open string low notes in this tune. The song being in the key of G, I have a lot of this kind of information available to me. So I was playing everything hybrid picked, and that tone and that technique kind of adds to the feel of that vibe, and it definitely started to influence where I went. So I played a lot of things like this in a repeating motif kind of way. Now that's kind of a piano-y way of playing a riff. But that became almost the theme of the song. I went, and then again. And then I went even lower. Now, I like this because when you start a solo low, where else is there to go but up? And that helps dynamically frame a solo, from front to back. So then as the tune went along, we got to the 4 chord. I played a little bit over that 4 chord and then immediately rephrased the opening lick. Then we got to the 2-5 and I spelled that out a little bit and went back to kind of the main head. And that's a way of really, really stating purpose to a solo. You're giving it a direction clear out of the box. And like I said, you almost want to let that dictate the course of the whole solo. So even though it's completely improvised, and I didn't know I was going to play any of that before the track started, it automatically took hold as kind of the theme of the solo, and then I expand on it as we go along. All right, so moving on in the solo, I kind of took that theme and ran with it. I let it be the launching point to kind of move up the fretboard. So I played. So that kind of, phrasing expanded the way that I took it up. So here I go. I kind of just tried to stay with that same phrasing. So even though it's a different lick, the timing of that phrase helped me kind of move up and down the neck just by kind of copying that phrase. The next thing I know, I'm up here. Then I played a melodic minor lick to kind of build me up back to the first position pentatonic, an octave up. So I played. So that's me playing E melodic minor over G7. And I played some of that same open string lick up an octave. Another thing I did was kind of end the first chorus of these next few choruses with a double time lick. And I kind of busted out of it back to a more tame, slower time lick, which is a great way to temper those fast licks so that they don't just take over your song. When you come right out of a lick that's fast like that to something with some feeling, it really kind of anchors it down. So I kind of used that as kind of the guide during those 2 choruses of the solo, and I really built it up to some high stuff and, got the emotion going. So when the 4 chord came in the second chorus there, I was up here. So by then, the emotion is at the highest pitch of the solo. And then to highlight the 2, I went. That was me playing a 2-5. I went to the A. myself back down. And that's how I got to the beginning of the next chorus, this little descending double stop lick. That's where I landed on the downbeat of the next chorus. All right, so from there, I kind of found this new little theme. And I play it again. And then I went into this arpeggio form, kind of playing D over G. And what was cool is I busted out of that arpeggio by changing the time. So I went... which is a really cool way of changing up things. So I started playing... So when you play against the beat, kind of... And again, you'll find how useful it is to bust out of a kind of fast lick like that by modulating to the next chord. And actually now I remember over this C chord, I played a little bit of a half step move to a C7, but by playing a D flat 13. Which is a cool thing to do on a 7th chord, because you're playing a C dominant, so it's the same as that. And then I ended it up by getting back to that phrase. But then I started messing around with that in time to end the song. I started playing. So by repeating that little trill, and I ended it up by tagging that 2-5-1 in a very B.B. King way. There again. This is a Larry Carlton lick. And then we ended it. Again, this is letting everything dictate kind of where the solo goes. Letting the tone, letting what the band's playing dictate your approach to the solo. You're trying to find the shortest distance between 2 points, which is getting out what you have in your head and what you're feeling in your heart to your hands with as little in the way as possible. You're trying to find the direct line. So that's the way to find kind of your honest solo for every situation. You know, no matter if it's a 2-bar solo or a 20 million bar solo, you've got an idea right away once that solo happens. It's in there. You just got to pull it out. So you got to read those clues and kind of just do it your way. And, you know, that's what we're all looking for.